everyone. So today we are going to discuss the topic data file handling. In this topic, we are going to learn that how to create data files and how to perform different operations on it. But before learning this, I want to discuss that why do I need to create data files? What is the use of it? So children, please understand that in Python, when we create some programs and we execute them, so what happens? I write some input and I get the output. But if I run the same program again, then I need to give a different input and a different output I'll get back. But those inputs or outputs are saved anywhere? No, not at all. The data is not saved anywhere because I'm working upon transient type of data. Let me tell you this through programming. Like this is a very small program. Let's run it. This is my output screen and it is asking me enter your name. I have entered this. So this is my one time of execution. Second time, again I am going to run the same program and I am going to give a different input. So the result is here in front of you. As many as number of times you will run your program, the different input you are going to give and the different output you are going to get. But is this data saved anywhere? No. This data I cannot bring back in my third time of execution because I'm working upon transient type of data. What is my transient type? Let me write it. Transient data. Transient data is a type of temporary data which is no longer saved in the memory. Or I can say that as my random access memory works in the computer, in the same way, it is also a temporary data. Like I can take one more example that whenever we write something on our blackboard, I can erase it. And after erasing it, can I bring it back? No. Because my blackboard is a temporary memory. So this type of data is known as transient data. Now, I'm going to tell you another type of data, persistent. Persistent data. Persistent data is a data which is permanent in nature, which I can use for the future references. So it is like Rome, that once it is saved, it will be there for forever. Until and unless I will not delete that data intentionally, it will remain there. It will remain saved over there. So I hope you have understood the difference between two types of data. Now, coming back to the point that why do I need to create data files? So the motive behind creating data files is to save the data permanently for the future references. If I want to store my data onto my hard disk for forever, I need to create a data file. Now, if I talk about a file, there are two types of files, binary and text. Two types of files are there, text file and binary file. Now I need to understand first that why do we have two types of files? What is the difference between these two types? So let us understand this. First difference. Text file is a string of characters. What is the meaning of string of characters? That means a series or a sequence of characters. Like a sentence. We know that what is a letter, we know that what is a word, and we know that what is a sentence. My sentence is a collection of words. My word is a collection of characters. So if I talk about a sentence, this is a string of characters. Whereas binary file is a series of zeros and ones. As we know that computer always work upon binary language. And if I talk about binary language, I'm talking about zeros and ones series. So the type of data which is stored in my binary file is in terms of zeros and ones. Second difference. Text file consists data in ASCII format. ASCII format basically works upon English language. Like, let me tell you, ASCII code for capital A to capital Z in my internal memory is 65 to 90. That means ASCII code 65 is fixed for capital A in English language. And so on till the range Z. It is 90. Now, for small a to Z, my ASCII code is 97 to 122 in range. Small a is coded in ASCII format as 97 internally. And small z is 122. Why there is a range? Because we have only 26 letters. So let's come back. Whereas the binary file consists numeric data in binary form and character data in ASCII form. If I talk about text file back, here both types of data, whether I talk about numeric or character, both are stored irrespective of the data type. But in binary file, my numeric data is stored in a binary form, which is zeros and ones, and my character data is stored in ASCII form. Third difference. Text files are suitable to store plain text or Unicode characters. As I told you that ASCII codes are related to English language and Unicode characters are used for different type of languages. Whereas my binary files are suitable to store binary data such as images, video files or audio files. Next, in text file, each line is terminated with a special character end of line. Now, what is my end of line over here? If I talk about, if I talk about end of line, like whenever we write any sentence, we always end it with a full stop. But here in programming language, we do not use a full stop over here, but we use slash n. Slash n is new line feed. So in text file, we use it. Whereas in binary file, there is no concept of end of line. We don't end it up from our side, but it is automatically done. Next, operations on text files are slower than binary files as data is to be translated to binary. As we know that text files always store the data in the form of string of characters. And we also know that computer always work upon binary language. So data is translated with the help of translator first, and then it is evaluated. But in case of binary files, there is no translation takes place. That's why binary file execution is faster than text files. Next difference is text files are always saved with an extension .txt, and .txt is always an extension of text editors. Whereas my binary file is always saved with an extension .dat. This is a different type of file. Last difference, text files read the data bit by bit. That means 0 is one bit, 1 is another bit. One bit, one at a time. Whereas binary files read the data byte by byte. One byte is a combination of 8 bits. So byte by byte, it reads data. Let's move on. So we have understood the difference between data files, text and binary. So we need to perform some operations on file. There are certain operations which we can perform on a file, whether it is a text file or a binary file. So let's have a look quickly. Number one is creating or opening a file. So what is the meaning of creating and opening? Opening a file means that the file is already there and I only want to open it. Creating a file means that I am going to create a new file. Second operation, reading from a file. What does it mean? That already a file has created and I am going to open it and I want to read the data which is written over there. This operation is known as reading from file. Next operation is writing the data to the data file. Means I want to enter some data into my file which I have created. And once I use this operation, I always enter a new data. Writing data means it can be done in two ways. Like a fresh file I have created and I'm entering a very fresh data into that file. Second is that already a file is created, but I want to change the data in it. In both the cases, I go with the same operation. Next operation is appending the data. Now please understand it carefully. What is the meaning of appending the data? Appending the data means to add the data at the end of the file. Let me give you one example that in your notebook, if you have to write 10 questions and because of shortage of time, you are only able to write 6 questions at once. But at the next moment, when you will try to complete your work, then what will you do? Will you repeat all 6 questions again? No. Instead, you will be writing only those 4 questions which were left. And where will you write it? After question number 6, you will start writing your question number 7. In the same way, in my data file, already some data is written already, right? And I want to add the data after that. This process of adding the data in the file is known as appending the data. Next operation is inserting data. Now there is a difference between appending and inserting. As I told you, appending the data means adding the data at the end. But inserting the data means I can insert the data at the end also, or I can insert the data in between of my records also. So anywhere, wherever I want to add my data, I can add it in this type of operation. Next is deleting data from a file. For example, I have 10 records in my file and I want to delete, I want to remove 2 records from that. So after performing my deletion, I'll be left with 8 number of records. Next operation is copying a file. Copying a file means creating another file having the same data. That means I am copying the data from one file to another file. Next operation is updating data in a file. Updating data means modifying the data. That means some of the changes you are doing in the data which is already saved in the file. So doing modification in the data is known as updating the data. Let's move on. So, for performing the above mentioned operations on data file, we need to follow the following steps. Let me clear this. Yeah, now it's fine. So I need to follow the following steps. And what are my steps? Number 1, open a file. Number 2, perform any operation. It can be read data, it can be write data, it can be append the data, or it can be updation or deletion. Third step, closing a file. So if I say in these 3 steps, my first step and third step are fixed always. Any type of operation, if I'm going to perform on my file, I need to open the file, and at the end, after performing my operation, I need to close the file. And or I can say that these 2 steps are mandatory. Without opening a file, I cannot perform any operation on the file, and without closing it, I am not stopping performing any operation. So it is mandatory to close a file after performing any operation. Now, let's start working with text files. So what is my text file? I need to understand this first. As I have discussed earlier also, while explaining the difference between text file and binary file, that text file works upon the string of characters. And the data is translated first into the computer language, and then it is calculated or evaluated. For working upon text file, we have some built-in functions. As we know that Python library is providing us many of the built-in functions. So working upon text files also, we have some built-in functions which we can directly use over there. And along with some built-in functions, we have some modes of operations also. Like if I say that I want to read the data from the file, I have another mode of operation. If I want to write the data into my file, I have another mode of operation. So let's understand what are the different modes for different types of operations. So here is a complete table. Let's quickly discuss all the modes one by one. So the first mode is R. What is an R mode? R for read. R stands for read. So whenever I want to read the data from my file, I should use R mode. And how will I use it? I will show you later on. Second mode is R plus. R plus mode is that I am going to open my file both in reading and writing mode. So once a while, I can read the data from the file, and at the same time, I can write the data into the file. But in both the cases, the file pointer, as it is written over here, the file pointer will be placed at the beginning of file. So there are two modes like R and R plus. R especially and particularly for reading the data, and R plus is a combination of reading and writing. And we have to keep in mind that always the reading is done from the starting of the file, from the very first bit. Next operation is W, or I can say the next mode of operation is W. W stands for write. So once I want to write the data into my file, I should use W mode. And as I told you that W works in two ways. It can write a new data into a file. Secondly, it is used to overwrite the existing data also. Next is W plus. So W plus means, as we have discussed, R plus. So similarly, W plus opens a file for both the operations, reading and writing. So let's discuss more. It overwrites the existing file if the file exists. And if the file does not exist, it creates a new file for reading and writing. This is the functionality of W mode, that if the file is not created already, it creates a file on the spot. And this is the functionality in W mode also. So this is a similarity between W and W plus. Next mode is A mode. So what is A? A for append. As we have discussed earlier also, that append means adding the data at the end of the file. At the end of the file, what does it mean? That my mouse pointer, my cursor of the file is at the end bit of the file, of the data. And from there, I will start adding a new data. So as it is written over here, the file pointer is at the end of the file, and if the file exists, then only the file pointer will be placed at the end for writing the data. The file is in the append mode, it is not in the W mode. And if the file does not exist, it creates a new file for writing. So I can say that this is a similarity between my W and A mode. That if the file does not exist, these two modes creates a file on the spot. Last type of mode we are going to discuss, A plus. Again, there is a plus along with A mode. So what does it mean? This is a combination of appending and reading operations. That side by side, I can read the data also from the file, and I can add the data also. And similarly, as we have discussed in W and A mode, if the file does not exist, it creates a new file for reading and writing. So I hope this is clear to everyone, all types of mode. So we shall move on. Let's begin with the coding. Before begin with the coding, I want to take you to this table. Here are some built-in functions. So side by side, we will study the function and we will try it with the help of coding. So let's start with the open function. Open function syntax is f is equal to open, and as you can see that there are two parameters passed in the function. First is file name and second is mode. File name is by which name you want to create your file, dot extension. Extension can be .txt also or .dat also. It depends upon whether you are going to create a text file or binary file. And the modes we have discussed, that whether I am going to open my file into read mode because I want to read the data, or I am going to open my file into write mode because I have to enter a data. So let's start with it. So let's understand it with the help of an example. There is a program written where I have opened my file using open function. And what is my file name? Poem.txt, which is already created into my system. And I have opened the file into R mode. R means read mode. So I have passed my both the parameters. First is file name and second is mode. That I am going to open my poem.txt, which is already existing file, into read mode. The first statement is saying this, and this F represents the object of my file, which is storing everything related to my file. And as I have written over here, that this is the first step which needs to be written, that you are opening your file, whether in read mode or write mode. Here I have opened it in read mode. Next, this is my second step, and second step can be any type of operation. So these two statements, basically, these two statements belong to my second step. And the last step is f dot close. Through this statement, I am closing my file which is opened. So this is the last step, which is, again, I will say that this is a mandatory step. After opening a file, I must close my file. So let's move ahead. There is another function, read. And if I talk about my read function, there are certain variations, like read without any parameter and read with a parameter. Let's understand the difference between these two. So here, if I run my program without having parameter inside my read, so what will happen? And how I have written this statement? Basically, I have written this like data is equal to f dot read. So data is a variable which is going to contain the data which is read by f dot read operation. So let's run it. Just wait. Yeah. So we are going to run it. F5. And as we can see that the data which is contained into my file is displayed onto the screen. Let's go back again. As I talked about one more variation, in my statement it was written read of n. So what is n over here? This is number of bits. As I told you, my text file reads the data bit by bit. So 20 represents 20 bits from the starting. Let's run it again. As we can see that from the first line, only 20 bits are read and displayed onto the output screen. So it is cut over here. If I take my cursor, only these 20 bits are taken. Now let's move back. There is another function, read line. Again, in read line function, there are two variations. One is without parameter and one is along with the parameter. Again, if I talk about this parameter, this is representing number of bits in a line. So through this read line function, we are going to read a single line from my file actually. So let's see it. How does it work? As I can see, or as you can also see, that the first line out of 4 lines is displayed onto the screen as an output. Now let's move back again. Let's discuss about another variation. If I write over here 30. So again, I have taken one number. I have passed one parameter as a number, as a value inside my function. So 30 means 30 bits. So from the first line, 30 bits from the starting will be read and will be displayed. Let's run it. As you can see, I think. Think is the last word which gets over at 30th bit. So this is how my read line function works. Let's move ahead. This is my read line. As it is written in plural, so what does it mean? That we are going to read multiple lines one at a time. And how does it work? Let's see it. I have written read line. Read lines will display all the lines all together in the form of a list. Clear? It will display all the data in the form of a list. So this is till here /n, my first line. Till here, this is my third line, and till here, this is my fourth line. So all the lines all together are written and displayed in the form of list. Next, we talk about this write function. Write function, again, we can see that there are two write functions. One is simple write, and second is write line. So what is the difference between these two functions? Write function and write line function. The similarity between these two functions are that the data which is accepted by this write function is string type of data. And if I want to enter my numeric data, then I need to first convert it into a string, and then it can be written with the help of write statement, write function, or I can say. So let's see how does it work. There is a program written. Here, I'm opening my file into write mode. This is my W mode. W means write mode. And my first parameter is same, which is my file name. But this is my file name which I want to create right now. As I told you earlier, that write function creates a file if a file does not exist already. So my first step over here I have written, and next 3 statements are write operations. And my last statement again is my mandatory statement, that is closing a file. So through these write statements, I am writing 3 words. And how does it work? Please see it. F5. The data is not displayed over here because there is no print statement in my program. Now the file has been created over here, and the file type is also visible .txt. So I'm going to open my file with Notepad and I'll show you the data. Now see, the cursor is in the starting and all the words are written in the sequence without having even a space between. But I want to write my data in the separate lines. So what will I do? I will use a /n along with all the statements, right? So /n indicates that the cursor will get shift onto the next line after writing the statement in the file. So let's run it again. file has run and it has entered the data also. So I'm opening my notepad file. As you can see, the data has been shifted to the next line because of /n. Now we are going to talk about the variation write lines. Now if I talk about write lines, then again I am going to talk about writing the data only, but I'm going to write the data together in the form of a list. Like I can say A/n, comma B/n, and comma C/n. Right? This is my data. After Python programming language, my data will be A, B, and C. But this A, B, C, I have written like a list over here, and I have passed this list parameter as a parameter inside my writelines function. So the list will be written once a while. So we can see our file from here again and see ABC after my Python programming language is added, is written, or I can say it is not added basically. So ABC, these three letters are written in separate lines like Python programming language. In the same way, if I convert it into a tuple, then also it will be saved in the same format. One variation I want to show you that I can save my data in the form of a dictionary also. But in the form of dictionary, if I'm going to save, then I have entered some numeric value. So as I told you that if I'm going to enter the numeric data, I need to convert it into a string. So there is a string function, str. So I have passed this list as a parameter inside my string function, and this string function is passed as a parameter inside my writeline function. So let's run it. I'm sorry, I forgot to do it. Yeah, now I'm going to run it. Again, the data is not displayed over here, and we can open and see our notepad file. So as you can see, the data is saved over here in the form of a dictionary in my file. So any type of data we can enter anytime in our file using the function. So today we have discussed write and read functions. In our next video, we will talk about append mode and append operations and some more variations of read and write functions. So thank you children for the day.